Alright, I made it back with another video. Sorry for the delay. I think I took an extra couple days. Trying to clean some things up. I'm moving some fish around. And yeah, in case I enter fish into the IFGA show season starting next March, I wanted to move some fish around to grow out. So I'll probably show that in a future video and hope I don't jinx myself. But this will be an update on some of the crosses and also an update on some of the fry that I have gotten out of them. This cross started out, I believe, I actually kind of forget because it's been going for a long time, Black Moscow and Yellow Delta. Somehow oddly I got one, this is the second generation, these fish, and also the third generation in there. And as I showed before, I got one kind of a purple snakeskin. So it's kind of a solid tail, I guess. It's got a little bit of some variegation in the tail, like some spotting, I guess. But yeah, sorry about the plants being in the way, but I have to keep these fish calm. They kind of go bananas. So you can see I have a couple of different kinds of females in here. These were all from the second generation, and a couple of tips I'll give with my crosses that I've been doing. I'll zoom out a bit. I put them in a 2.5 gallon tank. Now these fish were in a 5.5. I moved them into a 2.5 to film, but normally I do crosses in a 2.5 gallon tank, or I'll do one trio and I have a couple of 1 gallon tanks. So I keep plants at the top and air stone in the tank, which I took out for the video. And when I get fry, I usually take them out and put them in the 1 gallon containers, which I'll show in a minute or two. So as you can see, there's some more babies in here. And another thing that I've kind of been finding lately is if I have fish that are not dropping a reasonable amount of fry or any fry, I will feed them the deworming flakes for about 5 days. So no other food, just that for 5 days. And I did that with these. I didn't get babies out of these for about 5 months. I'm assuming they had a couple of fry and then they would eat them. And then all of a sudden, after a month after the deworming flake, I got the first big drop of fry from them, which is in a 2.5 gallon tank right now. And it's probably about 20 in here. So going from 2 fish in about 5 months to 20, plus there must be another 10 in the tank, is pretty good. So these I grow out in either 2.5 gallon tanks for a while so they can find the food, or I also use these 1 gallon tanks I'll show in a minute. You can see I'm trying to focus on this one that's starting to develop some black in the tail. You can see all these fish have light bodies, and looks like some black in the tail for that one. They're a little bit too young to figure out male from female yet. But based on a hunch, really, that the females, except for the Black Moscow, have no color, I'm going to say the ones developing the black in the tail are going to be males. And that black may change to purple, and I may get lucky and get a bunch of snakeskins. Just something I'm trying to do. It's one of those instances where I did a cross. I got something I really liked, totally unexpected from what I expected, which was some form of a half black yellow, and that is probably because of the Moscow genes. So I'll see what happens. These are all light colored fish, and if I can find the babies in this tank, they're also all light colored fish. I think they're right here. Here we go. So definitely something I'm working on, and we'll see how it goes. I would love to come up with a purple snakeskin. That would be quite a cool thing. I mean, I have one. I just have to get some more. Perhaps the black Moscow female hasn't had fry. There's 2 of them in there, and all these fry may have been from the lighter colored ones. So we'll see what I get when these fill up and drop some fry. So, and I'll finish, well, I won't finish, but it's going to be a longer video. I'll show you the 1 gallon containers. Okay, I use these 1 gallon containers, which are double blessing on them, I guess. I can use them for growing out fish or plants, and then I can eat the snacks or the food before I can use them. So this Bickle's Party Mix, that stuff sucked. I threw it out after I ate it for a couple days. These animal crackers are pretty awesome. You know, they're low sugar, like all animal crackers, I think. But the disturbing thing for me is, look at that. I mean, I can eat the rabbit, I can eat the bear. How the heck am I supposed to eat the dogs? That's not fair. Really not fair to put dogs in there. It looks like a dachshund, or just a short-legged beagle. But anyway, these things work out great for growing plants such as Java moss or water sprite. And I will put the babies in usually for about 2-3 weeks, and grow them out in there so they have an easier time finding the food. And the fact that these things are tall seems to help the growth of the young fry, which is very important the first few weeks. The depth seems to really help. It's probably the depth of a 10-gallon tank, just not the volume. So obviously it's a gallon container, so they're pretty good. Anyway, back to some more cross stuff. Alright, this was another cross I think I mentioned in a prior video. Russian red lace snakeskins to yellow delta females. And the yellow delta females were not hit before I put them in here. These red lace snakeskins were culls. I didn't like the big black dot on that side, and this one had some small dots. But other than that, great pattern, nice tail, dorsal shape, and the yellow delta females really have no coloration. But about a week ago I got some fry out of them, only 3. I can't really see anything on them yet other than they're light bodied. My intention was to come up with yellow lace snakeskins, which is a line I've had in the past, and I'd like to kind of create that again. So we'll see what happens. They're only about 2 weeks old, so I got to give them some time, obviously, and we'll see if I don't end up with just 3 females, which means I'll have to go back to the red lace snakeskin males, or if I get at least 1 male. So anyway, I'll continue on with some more stuff, and thanks for watching so far, and hang in there. Continuing on with some updates on some of the crosses. This was the video I did about around October 6th, I think, and it was black Moscow female, and these males are something that popped out of a line that completely devolved. They were Russian red lace snakeskin metalheads. I had bought them from ATFG about 5 years ago, and I was colony breeding, but I kept 3 or 4 groups of them, and kept bringing in new blood every couple generations, and it was going great. But ultimately, I lost the other 3 tanks that I was doing the culling and bringing in the new blood, and I was left with the original fish, and they devolved into this, which was a batch of 5 males that looked nothing like anything. They actually look like reddish endlers, but they're probably too big for that. And I put in a black Moscow, about 5 black Moscow females. A few of them kicked it. One of them finally had some fry after I gave up on nothing for about 6 months, and put in a regimen of deworming flakes on all the fish for a week, and then I repeated it 3 weeks later, and then about a month and a half later I finally got some fry. There's one that's still in the tank, and these are the ones that were born. You check my trusty pattern thing I do here. 10-1 red double swords to black Moscow female. So these are, today's the 23rd, I think. I don't really know what today is. Today is the 24th. And these are developing nicely. I haven't lost any. You can see I don't have any that look like black Moscow fry. So these fish are about 23 days old. Been feeding them one feeding in the morning of the live baby brine shrimp, and then in the afternoon they get some of my high protein flake food, or it's like a dense, not powder but coarse food. And then at night they get either the mix of the flake food, or once in a while I give them some cut up live adult or frozen adult brine shrimp. So that's utterly confusing. So anyway, so there's some progress on this line, and I will keep updating all of them as I can with fry. I have a couple more I can do before the video length gets out of hand. And thanks for hanging in. Okay, I'll continue the video with updates on various crosses. This one I did a few weeks ago. It was I was trying to breathe some new life into the black lace snakeskins that I'm trying to set. And what I did is I had used a black lace snakeskin male that had like a bit of a red eye spot in the center of the body. He has since gone on to play in a rock and roll band in the sky. I'm not sure what his problem was. Just woke up one morning and he was out of here. This is the female, which is a black Moscow, and she wasn't hit for months actually. And I had tried some unsuccessful crosses that she never got impregnated, so I used her with the black lace snakeskin male to go back and see what I'd get going back to what I originally did to start the line. So these are fry I got out of her. Quite a few actually. And this was, if I can pick the stupid paper up, black lace snakeskin male to a black Moscow female. 10-4, October 4th, and I don't know what that other number I circled. But anyway, you can see these are only 21 days old, 20 days old. If I can zoom in, we can see that I have a few albinos, which is very cool. I don't know what they're going to be. I'm going to guess they'll probably be all females. I'm hoping I'll get some males out of it. Probably about 5 of them, I think. If I could count that high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's it. There might be 6. I don't know. I ran out of fingers. And so this is progressing beautifully. I have to raise these separately from anything else with the black lace snakeskins, because I don't know what these are going to turn out to be. I'm hoping to get at least one male out of these albinos. There's probably about 25-30 babies in there, and none of them really look like black Moscows except possibly this one, but it's not dark enough really. So they obviously need more time to develop, because 3 weeks you can't really tell anything. But the point of the whole video is just showing you crosses I've started and how there are some success stories with each one of them. We just have to grow them out and see what I end up with. So I really just wanted to improve the black lace snakeskin body color, get some of the black out. Maybe I should have went with another red lace snakeskin male. But sometimes you got to do the crosses to figure out where it's going to take you. But I do know the black Moscow genes are primarily on the males of the black Moscow line. So by using a black lace snakeskin male, I should have been able to come up with better formed color-wise black Moscows, or black lace snakeskins, not Moscows. So anyway, I'll end the video because it's getting long. And I'm kind of doing about 3 videos at once in the middle of things. I'm doing one on daily progress of the eggs from the axolotls. That'll be released as a separate video from the beginning with the pair to day by day of how the eggs changed. I think we're around day 8 now. And another one I'm doing is on my yellow deltas. I've expanded things out, and I'll show a video of them and the progress. And I think I'm doing another video as well. I gotta sort through what's in my phone, figure out what the heck's going on there. So anyway, thanks for watching. Any questions, just put them in the comments or email me or anything else. Thanks, and I appreciate you watching.